So this is a 68 Mercury Monterey. Believe it or not, you know what? I'm not even gonna tell you. Hit it. Got a little surprise for you. This thing's been sitting for 20 years or more actually. Look at that, guys. Is that not amazing? So, a little bit of a story behind this car. This car's been around obviously ever since I've been born. My granddad bought it new. He bought the car new, and my dad painted it years ago, back in the probably mid 80s. Painted it like a midnight blue, and it's been sitting right here in this spot for at least 20 years. I know a little longer than that, but the car's been sitting here. Had mildew all over it, and my brother got a wild hair and decided he would come out here and just see if he could get it to start. We thought the motor was locked up, never paid any attention to it honestly, and put a battery in it, changed the points, put a little gas in the carburetor, and it started up. Believe it or not, the car is running off the gas tank that's in the car right now. I think the transmission doesn't want to pull. But other than that, I mean, the car runs. We couldn't believe it. The car's always looked great interior-wise. It's been preserved with all the mildew and everything else on it. But just look at the interior, though. So we have a few projects, obviously. There's a lot of stuff around here. I'm not going to disclose any locations, so we're not doing that. But this is the same spot, though, that has the Fox body, old trucks. And a little further down we have other cars, but this has kind of been like our storage area for years now. But here's the Fox body that you saw in the video before. If you've not seen that video, I'll put a link right here to the video where I actually go a little deeper into the woods and we find some other cars. But yeah, this car, I knew the guy that owned this car. There's a little bit of a story behind it. Knew the guy that owned the car. Used to be a really pretty car. It was it's a pearl white. He drove it around back in the late 90s. We put a nitrous kit on it. I used to work at a place called Spivey's Auto Accessories. You can see right there, Spivey's Auto Accessories. This was in 99, I think it was. And anyway, worked there at Spivey's, and we did some work on the car, put a nitrous kit on it, and the guy ended up, you know, blowing the motor, and then he was going to turn it into a race car. Well, years later, I had the chance to buy the car back, so me and my dad, we bought the car, and we kind of collect them. We use them for parts cars, honestly, is the real deal and the real story behind these things. We don't get them with the intentions of fixing them up. We get them to, you know, use parts off of them to fix other cars that we've had, because we've had many Fox bodies. But anyway, guys, that's kind of the story behind this car. As far as I know, it's still a pretty good car, still pretty decent. As far as, like, if you were going to make it into a race car or something, it wouldn't be that hard to do. There's already a few things I can't obviously get in the door over here, but the interior has mainly been gutted out of it, and they were in the process of turning it into a race car. But anyway, there's just a little bit more info on the Fox body that you saw in the video before. This is where I grew up, actually. I will show you this other car. This is my 67 GTA over here, which I'll probably never do anything with, but here it is. I know the car looks really rough. Believe it or not, it's not that bad. For any of you guys that have restored cars or know anything about them, it's not that bad. It's a solid car. Normally it opens, but anyway, this is my '67 GTA factory 390 car. So it's not that bad. It still something could be done with it, but will I do anything with it? Probably not. There's my brother's handprint whenever he was a little bitty thing. He stuck his hand in some paint and for whatever reason just plastered it on the back of the tire. This was my grandfather's truck that he drove for years and years and years. He never got rid of anything, he never threw anything away. He was into woodworking. We're not going to go in the shop and plunder through all his stuff, but this was his old truck. It still runs, believe it or not. I know a lot of you are probably itching to see us do something with all these cars, but you know, a couple of them we might. There are, with this car right here, the most we'll ever do with it is probably just get it running a little better, maybe get the transmission where to work, and you know, just have it where to run. I doubt we'll ever really put it on the road, ever really drive it, but we'll just kind of maintain it. Got a little bit of a leak, but she lives. It's been a while. She's back going. 73 Mach 1, big block 460, small cam, stock heads for now. Obviously a lot of leaks. Got a lobe on the cam that's worn off. Other than that, it still runs. I'll show you some pictures of the car back whenever it used to be a show car, believe it or not. Time doesn't heal all wounds. Sometimes time creates wounds. And it's created a few on this one. It's just sat and sat. But anyway, guys, I'll kind of keep you updated on this car as we progress along.
Man, I saw that transmission only going gear.
Yeah. Leaking bad.
And it's losing pressure going to it too.
What's pouring?
It's got a hole somewhere in that line.
Oh, yeah, it was dripping going up the trailer.
Puking.
Yeah, puking.
That wouldn't have damn went too far, would it?
So yeah, I'm not gonna make you guys any promises. It probably, nothing's gonna happen overnight with this car, but that one right there likes to get his hands in everything, so there's a good chance that, you know, it'll at least run a little better. We do have another motor for it though, another 460 with some police interceptor heads and a few other things. Oh, everybody, that's my dad. That's Papa T. So he is the reason why I'm into all this stuff, obviously, and my brother Hayden. So he's the reason why we're into all this. But yeah, this thing may look a little different in time.
And it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. In God